If this message found you, you might be in a season where you're learning how to navigate the world with your kindness. And I just bear with me because the vision that I got was of someone that was um, going through their car engine for, like it wasn't working, so they had to figure out what was going on. And so as they were you know it's weird. I don't know why the parts were moving, but they were like you were able to push through. Um, and down deep in the center, there was a glass bowl. And it didn't make any sense. Like, why was this glass bowl here? And it was a beautiful bowl. It had scalloped edges and, pretty small, maybe like 4 inches in diameter, probably the size of my palm, right? It was a little bowl and it was there just in the center, shining in between all this not rusty, but like just metal that was kind of dirty. And what I got from that was that bowl kind of represents your kindness, and it's an integral part of your personality, because the other thing that came across in that vision was that without that bowl, even though it feels like it doesn't belong, it needed to be there, because without it, that car wouldn't function. It would just shut off. And what I got in that vision was like 10 minutes, like there was a timer, 10 minutes and it would clonk out. It wasn't going anywhere. So if that goal is your kindness, it's either that or you feel like you don't belong, like you're in an environment where you don't belong, but you're needed. Your energy, your what you bring to the table is needed. Um, so going back to kindness, it's like if you were navigating the world in a certain way and you kind of built up these walls, these barriers, but who you are is that kind person at your core. There's nothing wrong with you. You just learned to protect yourself. All those car engine parts were around. Um, and if you think about it, for a delicate glass bowl, that's a rough environment. But again, what kept coming across was that it was needed, it was necessary. So even though you might feel like you don't belong, or that personality trait, that kindness that you have doesn't belong, and it's not serving you in any way, it is. So don't think of it in terms of, I'll be honest, I have been there. I understand what it feels like to feel like your kindness isn't reciprocated. You're a generous person and people are just taking advantage. But when you need someone to support you, they're not there. Um, so I get that, and I get why I could feel like sometimes that your kindness, that piece of your personality, is more of a liability, but that's not the case. Try to get yourself to a point where you understand that how you behave is the only thing that you can control. The way other people behave, that's on them. If you do it, and do it for the right reasons, don't do it because you want them to like you. You want them to see that you're valuable. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. You are a valuable person. You're here. You are here for a reason. That glass bowl was in that rough environment for a reason. The car needed to function. So, you don't have to prove it by doing XYZ for people, going above and beyond to the point where you're self sacrificing. That doesn't serve anyone, because you just end up depleted, and, it doesn't help you. You can't then be there for others when they really need help. Then you're kind of trudging along, going through the world as like half of yourself. So just try, and it's a process, okay? Even like I said, I understand what that feels like, to feel like you have been kind to people and they don't reciprocate that. They just expect more from you. You show them that you can do things for them, that you're willing to do things, and they kind of take advantage, and there's an expectation then that you're there for them whenever they need it. But when you need someone, they don't show up. They're busy. They're living their lives, which, okay, you should, but there, it should be a two-way street. It shouldn't just be you are there for them to support them and them alone. And and you end up with no one. That's not right. Okay? But going back again to that glass bowl and the kindness, it's not a liability. It is needed. You're here now for a reason. That's what I truly believe. So, and that was all that I got from that. Let me see if there's anything. Let's use this one. I like this deck, the Affirmators. It's, a little quirky. There's a bit of humor in each of the messages, which I like. Because if you can't laugh, you're in trouble. Okay. All right. So let me just shuffle. Think about that. Did anything else come through? I don't think so. It's either you felt like you were out of place, or again, just kindness was really the thing. It felt like it was a personality trait that you wanted to get rid of. But no, why get rid of it? It's who you are. If people don't see that, if people don't value it, that's their problem. That's not yours. Then you slowly phase them out of your life if you can. If you can't, start, develop those boundaries that are necessary to be able to function as yourself in the best way. Okay, so let me just shuffle this one more time. What was that? Positive thinking. This caught my attention. In the garden of my mind, I water the good thoughts and weed out the bad ones. I throw in forgiveness and empathy, seeds by the handful if I want, and I take a lawnmower to that jealousy and resentment patch. I'm a pretty badass mind gardener. Can you see that? There we go, I guess. That's the card. Okay. Okay, so let's see. Two. You got two. That's a good one. Okay, letting go. I don't dwell on bad things that happen. I let things go because I have enough heavy things to carry around. And also, grudges aren't a great look. Okay, so that's that. So if you feel like your kindness was taken advantage of, and don't carry that with you for too long. It's understandable. It's a process. You have to process through your emotions, of course. But again, don't sit in it. And take it as a learning experience. Like, now you see that person only wants to take advantage of your kindness and expect you to be there for them, but they're not there for you. So put limitations. If you can weed out that toxic relationship, do it. If you can't, if they're, part of your family or part of your close family circle, friend circle, and you can't avoid them without avoiding everyone else, do your best to keep them at a distance. And just learn that no is a complete sentence. That's it. You don't always have to explain why you can't. And, manipulative people understand that they can try to finagle their way into getting you to do what they want, right? Because they think, oh, she's a nice person, she'll do it. Or he's such a sweet guy, he'll do it if I ask him. I just have to ask him like this. And, I'll ask him 10 times. I'll ask him every single day, every time I see him. Don't. Just keep saying no. If you can't, you can't. And you can say that. No. I told you I can't, so I can't, period. Okay? It's hard. It's hard for those people who are empathetic. It's hard for those people who you genuinely do see the kindness in others, and you see the good in others. But people don't walk through life like that. Not everyone, that you're going to find those people who appreciate your kindness. You're going to find those people who value what you bring to the table. And if they don't, create those barriers. It's the healthiest way for you to function. Okay. And the other one was, everyone's a teacher. Everyone I cross paths with is a teacher in that moment. The ones who give me the fun lessons are the ones I call friends. The ones who give me the hard lessons I sometimes call a-holes. They've chosen a tough job, but someone's got to do it. So today I'm thanking all the a-holes. Thank you, a-holes, for playing your part in making me a better person. I told you it's a little quirky, but I love it. So yeah, that's kind of, I think that's self-explanatory, right? It's what we were saying. It's just that you have to take the lessons as they come and take people for who they are. Don't expect to change them. Don't think that, oh, if you help them with this time, they'll understand how giving you are. Oh, they understand how giving you are. They understand how helpful you are. Don't make any mistake about that. Okay? They know what they're doing. For the most part, there are some people who are oblivious, and that's not usually the case. Okay, people that want to take advantage of others, they know what they're doing. All right, so that is all for this message. I hope it resonated, and of course, as I always say at the end of my videos, I really do encourage you to find your way to connect with source and to stay in the present moment. Okay, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.